What is up, everyone? It is Michelle Alexandria coming at you with a look at Apple TV Plus, the Apple TV Plus service. At the time, the service launched in November 12th, 2019. And it's been 3 months the launch of the service, and I am happy to say I actually got in on a free year deal. Apple TV, I really like where Apple TV Plus is heading. I think the quality of the programming is top notch. I watched C for the first 6 episodes. I got caught up in watching C, really loved it, and then all of a sudden I had to wait a week in order to watch the remaining episodes, and then I just kind of lost interest at that point. And this is my number one issue with Apple TV Plus and this new wave of streaming services. I just think it's a mistake. Netflix has shown us the way, people. The reason why Netflix is so popular, and they invented the term binge watching. It's called binge watching. Let me say this one more time, people. It's called binge watching. You pick a show you want to watch. You watch it from beginning to end in 1 or 2 sittings. You enjoy the heck out of it, and you move on. I hate this idea that these streaming services now have that, and it's so short-sighted that they expect people to watch this stuff on a week-to-week basis. That's not modern society. That is old school thinking, and the reason these streaming services are doing it is because they think somehow they're unofficially stretching this stuff out for like 2 and 3 months. It's going to build buzz for their shows. It's going to build buzz for their shows and all this other crap, and it's going to force people to stay subscribed. No, it won't, because people who are going to cancel will cancel at the end of the 10 weeks anyway, or they're going to, or those people will wait until the show's end and then subscribe and then watch and then cancel. So why inconvenience the people who are actually committed to your service with this crap? Really, it's really starting to piss me off to no end, because CBS All Access does this, and it's why I can't get into it. As much as I love CBS, and CBS loves me, and I'm invited to a lot of CBS events that I can't go to because I'm stuck in the middle of Nowheresville. I can't go anywhere anymore. I need to go back to DC. I really do. But anyway, I went off on a tangent. CBS, I can never get into CBS shows like Star Trek Discovery and all that kind of stuff, because I don't want to watch stuff on a week-to-week basis anymore. I just am so over that. I don't like binge watching stuff. I like to sit on my couch, engross myself into something for a weekend, and then move on with my life. I don't want to be watching it week after week after week after week for months after months after months. I just want to sit down, put my feet up, get into something, and get the hell out of Dodge and move on with my life. I hate this idea that streaming services are now adopting the old broken model of cable TV. And then you have idiots and other YouTubers championing the idea that this is such a great idea, because then I could talk about it on my YouTube channel every week and I have content to provide. That's all those a-holes care about, is having content for their own channels. They don't care about you, and you shouldn't care about cable companies about whether or not the show builds buzz or not. If a cable company does its job marketing properly, the show's going to have buzz, and you go watch it, and then you move on. When the show is every single week, what's going to happen? People are going to end up spoiling it for you, because a lot of this stuff is based on books and stuff now. So someone's going to end up spoiling it for you. And if you're so inclined to watch something on a weekly basis, you can. But for people like me who want to binge watch, like, we pay for these services because we can watch it on demand. It's called on demand programming. It's not called on your demand or on your schedule. It's supposed to be on our schedule. And this is breaking stream. This entire rant is going away from what I wanted to talk about, which was the Apple TV Plus service. So maybe I should reel it back in and save that rant for a totally separate video. So I'm going to reel it back in. This is me reeling it back in, and I'm going to go finish this. But the reason why I went on that rant was when I watched C, I absolutely loved the heck out of the show. I was so surprised by how much I loved it. And normally it's not my cup of tea, but it is brutal, it is violent, but it's, I don't know, it's beautifully shot. The thing I really love about Apple TV Plus, again, is all their programming is original. So unlike Disney, Apple doesn't have a huge backlog of programming to rely on, so they have to build their slowly and have all original programming. And that's what I love about this service, because Disney Plus, the only thing I watched on that is Mandalorian, and I hate Mandalorian. I really, hate is a strong word, but I find that show really boring and a struggle to sit through, because I find it, again, boring, and it's horribly shot. And I'm still on episode 4. I can't seem to get off of episode 4 because it keeps putting me to sleep. But I'm going to power through it at some point, because I feel like I'm missing out on something. I don't understand why everyone loves that show so much. And then after that, after Mandalorian, there's nothing on this channel on Disney Plus until like September, when the next Marvel, when WandaVision drops, or Captain America Winters, or the Winter Soldier and Falcon show drops. That's it. I mean, that's like 5 or 6 months away. That's 5 or 6 months of pretty much nothing on that service, other than a bunch of glorified featurettes and documentaries. I'm very disappointed in Disney Plus so far, but I'm going to talk about that in another thing. Again, this is me going off on another tangent, but let's reel it back in. Apple TV Plus. So the reason why I keep going off track is because of Apple's weekly scheduling, I have not been able to watch anything other than C. And like I said, I love C, and their programming just really appeals to me. And sometime this weekend, I'm going to end up going on a binge and watching a lot of their other stuff. And the thing I really love about Apple TV Plus is everything is in 4K Dolby Vision. And now that all the initial shows are done, and you can actually sit down and have some good binge-a-thons, they have a lot of great stuff available. So they have, again, C, which is great. You should all be watching that. Then Mythic Quest just dropped last week. And the great thing about this one is they did drop the entire season. So I'm hoping that Apple TV has learned its lesson and it's going to start drop. Now, I understand why Apple TV Plus service isn't dropping shows all at once, because they don't have enough content to really justify it. But again, they gave away a couple of million free. They gave everyone who bought an Apple device a year's free service. So there's no need for them to drop these episodes every week on a weekly basis, because a lot of people are locked in for a year. So they have a year to impress people. So they have Mythic Quest, this comedy about a game development company. Looks interesting. So I'm going to watch this. Visible, a new series. It's a series about gay, how the pioneers of gay people on television. Kind of interesting. So I may watch a little bit of this. I'm not a huge fan of documentaries, but I'm gonna have to watch that. And then they have Amazing Stories is coming out. If you haven't checked it out, check out the trailer. The other thing I really love about Apple TV Plus is even their trailers are in 4K Dolby Vision, which is pretty darn awesome. I wish all the trailers on Apple TV 4K were in 4K Dolby Vision, or at least in the format that you buy. They have this series called Little America, which is this is a weekly show about immigrants in America and how they're making it in America and all this other stuff. It's a pretty uplifting show. I have no interest in watching this, but I'll probably watch a couple of episodes. This is a show I'm very interested in seeing called Truth Be Told. It's with my girl Octavia Spencer. I've actually talked to her a couple of times. I really love her. And Aaron Paul, who I talked to a couple of times. So I'm down for watching this. Again, this is a crime drama. Basically, Octavia Spencer is a podcast. It's based on a true story, I think. It's a podcaster who is a pod, and just saying that kind of makes my teeth hurt a little bit. So Octavia Spencer is basically a podcaster who does a true crime podcast, and can I talk about true crime podcast at some point? I need to talk about that. So basically, she's a true crime report podcaster, and she finds herself sucked into this murder case. And is the guy innocent or not? So we're gonna follow the clues and we're going to follow the clues of the case and the mystery to see if the guy actually is innocent and see how this all ends. This actually looks pretty good. I love me some Octavia Spencer, so I'm down for this. And the full season has dropped. Again, this is another show I really wanted to watch for all mankind. And that's the thing. If a show is good, it's good, and it's going to get buzz whether it's dropped on day 1 or day 10. You just got to market your programming better, Apple. If they marketed the heck out of it, would have had a great premiere and it would have gotten buzz that way. But, this was dropped on a weekly basis, and this didn't build any buzz either. C didn't build any buzz. None of their programming has built any buzz. If they drop this stuff, people can actually sit down and binge it, spend some quality time getting sucked into the world, it would have gotten better buzz that way, as opposed to expecting people to give stuff a try that they've never seen and then expecting to stick with it over the course of several weeks. And the one thing I will give Apple credit for is they did drop the first 3 episodes of each series when they originally aired. So there were 3 episodes on day 1 of For All Mankind, and 3 episodes of C and a couple of others. So I will give them credit for that. But I think just most people, if it's a new service, they want to be able to sit down and really get sucked into a show, into a world. And if you do that enough times, then eventually your entire service is going to take off. That's what Netflix did. It's a slow process. I think they have a lot of quality stuff. Unlike Disney, they're actually, Apple is clearly spending money on their production values and on their shows. Like the morning show, again, all episodes of the morning show is now available. Ghost Rider was actually, all the episodes dropped on day 1 for Ghost Rider. And I think what they're doing is they're dropping all the episodes for the comedies on day 1 because those don't rely on build up. And I think they're making all their dramas weekly episodes. And I just think that's stupid. Dickenson, which is another show that I really want to watch because it's normally this is the type of show that's up my alley. And I love Little Women. The Elephant Queen, beautiful nature documentary. I think the BBC is a little bit better in terms of quality, but this is a darn fine looking documentary. If you just want to test out your 4K HDR TV, put on this. And then of course you have Snoopy in Space, which was cute. I watched all of these episodes because I just love the Peanuts. So yeah. Oh, and then you also have Helpsters and Bankers coming up. So it's kind of funny because people are like, why would you get Apple TV Plus? They don't have any content. But the thing is, Apple TV Plus has a lot more content than Disney Plus, ironically enough. That is, if you're in the market for original content. If you want to watch original content that you've never seen and you have no idea what it is and you just want to get yourself immersed in something new and fresh, and isn't that what everyone's always claiming that they want? And the Apple TV Plus actually proves a point that I've been making for years. Everyone claims they want something new and everything's the same and blah 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 blah, but that's not true at all. There's a reason why sequels are always hugely popular and reboots and remakes are hugely popular, because people don't want to give things a try. You don't want to get outside your box and experience new stuff. You want to stay in your box. And that's the sad truth of the matter is you all want to stay in your box. You don't want to get out and experience new things and give things a try. Apple TV Plus is a brand new service with no history, and so they're really going out of their way to give you a lot of different types of content, and they're going out of their way to give you all new content because they have to. Yet I don't see people talking about it. I don't see people willing to give any of this stuff a try because it's not Disney, it's not Star Wars, it's not Marvel. This just proves my point. So next time people claim and scream about how Hollywood doesn't do anything original, crap, regurgitated, and sequels and everything else, well, that's just not true. There's tons of original stuff if you actually bother to give it a try. And I'm saying Apple TV Plus, if you bought an Apple device, it's free. So I would assume if you are at all interested in Apple TV Plus, you probably have an Apple device, and then more than likely you probably got it for free. And so as a free 1-year service, it's only going to get better. I mean, it's been 3 months, and already they have about 10 original new shows available for you to binge right now. How long did it take for Netflix to get to the point where they are? I mean, really, how long did it take Netflix to get to the point where they are? So talk to you guys later. And if you made it this long, say, hey, Michelle, I want something free, and stop buying stuff. Keep your TV. That's what I want you to say. I'm not giving you anything free, but that's what I want you to say anyway. Or I may surprise you. Who knows? With me, I have tons of stuff I could give people if I really wanted to. I don't, but I could. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Have a fantabulous weekend. I would be surprised if any of you stuck through this long-winded thing. So talk to you guys later. Bye.